Hello. Yeah, hey everyone. Hey, hi Radhika. Hi Ashok. Hi Marina. Hey, Karan. Anusha, I'm seeing you a long time. I think you were not there in some sessions in the past.
Yeah, hi Amrita. I missed few of the classes, so I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for the next, session to start.
Okay,
Yeah.
no worries. Okay, so class everyone, right? So I hope you got that. I just shared a message to download the Power BI, right? So I'm going to start with Power BI today, right? So basically, what happened was I was having some discussions also with Pawan as well. So we know there are right now a lot of opportunities that are in the market for Power BI. So that is why we thought that we should first, cover up the Power BI. So because Tableau is already done, and Power BI is something which will help you in uh, acquainting, with those that the BI skills profile. You will be ready with that BI profile right away. And then what we will do is we will keep the Python, R, and machine learning all together in one piece. So that is why we are planning to start off with the Power BI, right? I hope you all are good with that.
Yes, Amit. We're not done with Python yet, right? Hello?
No, so not completely done. So we have to do the visualizations in the in the Python.
Okay.
And the machine learning part.
Okay. Sure. We can go with Power BI.
Yes, just give me 2 minutes.
Sure.
So just sharing my screen. See, now so before I start on the Power BI, does anyone have any idea like what exactly Power BI is all about, and why do we use it? Anything you would like to share with this Power BI tool now?
I don't have any idea about this.
See, now like, if I tell you my experience, so this Power BI is a tool which I have been using since 2016. Right, that was the first time when I used this tool. And this tool came in the market in 2014, around 2014. In the end of 2014, it was launched into the market. And when that time, when I used this tool in 2016, it was a very basic tool, right? It was just like a tool where you could just create some charts. But now this tool has come very long, right? In that 5-6 years of time, and this tool has become very, very, advanced and extensive in terms of the utilities and the capabilities this tool has. And this is something you will find it like a cousin of tab. right? Like you have Tableau, this is just a cousin of Tableau over here, but definitely it has many features which are very different from the Tableau. Ultimately, the goal will be the same. We use this tool for preparation of the visualizations and a report altogether. Okay. And now it's a product of Microsoft, right? So basically, Tableau is a product of Tableau company. So similarly, we have a lot of tools in the market. You have Power BI, Tableau, Domo, Spotfire, right? The Chartio. So there are a lot of tools in the market, but Tableau and Power BI are among the top selling tools, I would say, in this market, right? And definitely Tableau is still among the highest one, and Power BI is something which is eating its share very fast. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start with this, and I hope all of you were able to download it, right? No one had an issue in downloading that Power BI desktop tool that I shared the link for. Right? It would be around 350 MB files that you would have downloaded, and the installation doesn't take a lot of time, just 5 to 7 minutes of that. Okay. So now Tableau or Power BI is something that we use for visualization. So I guess now everyone is clear with the idea of visualizations now, like why do we use visuals and how do they help us in the data analysis? I think that doesn't need further explanation on that, because we have already seen in the Tableau, we have already seen in the Excel, and now we are going to see it in the third tool, which will be Power BI. Right? Right, so data visualization that helps you in the representation of the data in the form of charts, graphs, or pictorial representation. And it also enables decision makers to observe analytics presented visually. So we have a lot of tools in the market, right? So ClickView, like the tools that I was mentioning. So Tableau and Power BI are among the hot sellers. Okay. So why Power BI? What is Power BI? So we will directly start from there now. Right. So now Power BI is a BI tool, right? As in the name also it tells that it's BI. Can anyone define what is BI?
Business intelligence.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah. So what do we understand by it?
To analyze the trend or the data, predictions. That's what I feel.
Sorry.
It's like, for example, if a company have any future requirement or future things, so it's like based on the data, we can using business intelligence, we can say what is required or what is more required in the market or for the company. That's what I feel.
See, BI is more about getting to know from your data, like what strategies and decisions you can make now, right? In order to know about your business, right? So business intelligence is all about, understanding your data so that you can take some decisions which can help you, generate more revenues, profits, and understand the customer's problems. Right? That is what BI is. Right? BI is all about historical data analysis, where what we tell is what happened in the past. We do not talk about what is going to happen in the future. Okay, that is what BI is all about. It's all historical data. So that is what this tool is also be used for. So it has some predictive features which are very, very basic, very basic. Okay. Now this Power BI tool, it has an additional advantage over Tableau, that like Tableau doesn't have features in terms of data cleansing, right? But Power BI gives you a feature of data cleansing also. You have a lot of there is a feature called as Power Query. Power Query is something that is available in the Excel also, with the help of which you can do a very advanced data cleansing. You want to remove rows, add columns, pivot the data, group the data, right? Append the data, merge the data. So you will find lots and lots of data transformation capabilities in this tool over here. And definitely we are going to use it for the visualizations only. So we will be making charts, graphs, and everything in this. It is one of the most popular BI tools, right? High demand in the market. And it's again quick and easy to learn. It's all drag and drop, right? Like in Tableau, it was complete drag and drop. So this is also a complete drag and drop tool that you all will be learning. And there is a complete automation of the tasks that we can do. And it is also way cheaper than other BI tools, right? Like Tableau costs you $70 per month, right, per license, whereas Power BI comes at $9.99 per month. So you can see there is a big difference in terms of cost. So that is also one of the reasons that this tool is becoming very, very popular in the market now. Okay. So let's try to now understand the architecture of the Power BI, right? What that architecture of Power BI is and how it works. So Power BI, first of all, you will all need an application that is Power BI Desktop. Okay, like you had a Tableau desktop, so you all will be installing Power BI Desktop, the application, the link that I've shared with you. That's completely free of cost, right? Lifetime free. This is an application which we use for the development of the reports. On this, you will be developing the reports. So this tool gets connected to the data sources. You can connect it to hundreds of data sources available in the market, and you fetch the data over here in the Power BI Desktop. Once your report is ready, right? Once your report is ready, then what you do is you simply publish that report on the Power BI service. Power BI service is a cloud-based platform. Okay, it's a cloud-based platform. Like in Tableau, we were publishing the reports on the Tableau server. That was Tableau public server. So public server was free, but in Power BI, you don't have anything like free or public server. It's one single server, Power BI service, for which you have to buy a subscription, and this is where you have to pay the money. This is where you have to pay that $9.99. Okay, this is where you pay that amount over here. So, so this is how the architecture is. You make the reports on the Power BI desktop, you publish it in the Power BI service, and on the Power BI service, you will find hosts of features, right? You will be able to, what you all will be able to do is you will be able to set up the gateways so that the data can flow from, you can do that automation that, every time the data gets updated. So on the server, the report should get automatically updated. You can apply row level securities, right? So there are a lot of features that you find on the Power BI service now, on which you have to create an account, right? And that for that account, you will also get a 60 days of trial so that you can learn it. But the problem or a catch over here is this, that you can only create the Power BI service free account with a Office domain ID. You cannot make the Power BI service free account with your Gmail account. Okay, you need to have an official ID with you, and definitely most of you might not be having this official ID right now with you. So I'll tell you a way how you can make it, right? You will have to create an account on the MS Office, right, which will be a 30-day free trial account, and from there you will generate a Office ID, and then that ID you will use to create your account in the Power BI. So it's a two-step process that you'll have to follow, right? So you'll all have to create a trial account over there. Okay. So this is what Power BI service is, which is a cloud platform where we will be publishing the reports. And now if anyone has to access the report, so that person should also have, a Power BI account with him, right? He will log in from his own account and he will access the report. And he can access the report on the mobile phone also. So there is a mobile application as well of the Power BI, which a person can install on his application that a person can install on his mobile phone, and then he can access the reports anywhere on the, right? I hope I am making sense to all of you on this structure over here. Okay. So now let's start with the implementation of it, and let's try to understand it, what Power BI and how it works, right? So what we'll do now is, so once we understand this architecture, so let me just open up a file. So what you do is just launch the Power BI desktop now. Just click on Power BI desktop, you will be able to see that app in your system, and just open it. Okay, so when you launch this Power BI, this window will come up over here. Just close this one, right? Just close this one. Now this is where the interface will look like. Now this is the interface of Power BI. So I'll also keep on telling you certain differences, and many of the differences you will be able to identify by yourself also, that how it is different from the Tableau. So if you take a look at it, right, this is at the top, this is called as a ribbon. At the top, if you see, that is called as a ribbon. So in the ribbon, like you will find it, right, the same concept is in the Excel also, right? When you open any of the Excel files, in the Excel also at the top, you have a ribbon, right? And these are home tab, insert tab, page layout tab. Same way you have the tabs over here, insert tab, modeling tab, view tab. Now, what Microsoft does is Microsoft always tries to keep that interface similar, right? Like you see over here. So similar tab options get different. Now, like in Excel workbook, right? You have the concept of sheets. In the Power BI also, you have the concept of sheets only, which we call it as pages. Page 1, page 2, page 3. You can add as many pages as you want. You want to close it, so you can just close that page if you do not want it. Okay, this is the concept of pages over here. Now on the right hand side over here, you will see all the visuals that are available that you can create in Power BI. You will be able to see all these charts over here now, right? Visualizations. Okay. Now these are the visualizations that you have. And then what you do over here is you have on the left hand side, you will see 3 options over here, right? So some report, data, and modeling. Okay. So what we are going to do now over here is, first of all, we are going to grab the data inside this, right? We are going to extract the data into the Power BI. So how do we get the data in the Power BI is, you will find an option of data over here. Okay. So like Power BI is a tool which you can connect to variety of data sources which are available in the market, right? When you click on get data over here, you will find the list of all the sources to which your Power BI can be connected. So if you click on more, right? So you will see the complete list of sources to which your Power BI can be connected. Okay, you can connect it to Excel, text file, XML, JSON, PDFs, SharePoint folder. I mean, you name the database and you will find that option over here. Okay, so just like in Tableau, you had to extract the data from different sources. You can extract the data over here as well. I mean, you can extract the data from the various sources over here. Right now, if you see, if you want to extract the data from Excel, say for example, right? So what you do is you click on Excel and you click on connect. And so the data file that we will use over here is, right, that is a sample superstore. So I hope you all have that sample superstore file with you. The file that we use in Tableau also, right?
Hi, Amit. Can you share me that? Because of my laptop issue, I lost some
Sure,
data.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Yep, so just share the file.
Which sheet are we supposed to connect first? Just orders or all?
I'll just tell you. Definitely we'll be using orders only. So when you click on Excel, right? So I'll just
There's only for now, right? Load. Okay.
then you have to load it. You have to just select that file and load the data.
Okay.
So when you click on open, so you will see the list of all the sheets that are there, right? There are 3 sheets: orders, peoples, and returns. So if you click on orders, you have to select it. So it will show you the preview also, like what's the preview of the data, like what data do you have inside that. And then when you click on load, the data gets loaded. So all of you, please try this. I'll just wait for a minute. Done. Okay. Okay. So see, when you load the data, now what happens over here is that orders data is loaded in the Power BI file now. Okay. So you will see on the right hand side, this is a fields pane, right? This is a fields pane that I have. Okay. Where you will see all the headers, I mean, all the column names that we have loaded. And this is the name of the sheet, which we have over here. Okay. The order sheet that we loaded. Now this is how the data has come up, right? Like if you remember in Tableau, we used to have dimensions and measures. Over here, we do not have such breakup over here, right? What you will notice is what Power BI is going to show you is it will tell that, okay, wherever there is a summation sign, right? Summation sign means that the field is numeric, right? Wherever there is no summation sign, that means it's a categorical data. And if you take a look at this symbol where there is a calendar symbol, like that is a date field. So it will give you an idea that this is a date field that you are working with, right? This is a date field. The data is of date type, right? So this is how it shows that presentation over here. I mean, it shows you the fields over here and what type of a data do you have in each column, right? Then over here on the left hand side, you will see 3 icons. The first is report view. Report view is the one we are into which right now. Now this will be our main, like where the reports will be created. If you click on that option below that, that's a data view. Now this is where you will be able to take a look at that complete data that you have loaded, right? So we have loaded the data of orders, so you will be able to see a glimpse of that. I mean, not just glimpse, it's the entire data, right? You can see 994 rows. So you can see the entire data over here. You can't edit, you can't make any changes over here, right? You can just see it. You want to apply some filter. So if you select shipping mode, you want to select something, you will be able to see that. Okay. So you apply any filter and you will be able to see that entire data over here. So just browse through it, but you can't make changes to it. So whenever you load any data, so you can see that. So I guess now this data is something you all will be pretty much comfortable with, right? We use it in the Excel also, in Tableau also, SQL also. Somewhere we are using the similar data set in the Power BI as well. And then you have a third section that is called as relationships, right? Relationship is something where we will be creating that joins and all, right? Like it's not exactly joins, it is building relationship, primary key, foreign key relationship when we have multiple data sets. But right now, since we only have one data set, so we won't be able to do anything over here because this is one single table and it can't be related to anything. So we will be coming into it in a little part. So now what I do is I come back to the report view now, right? If I come to the report view, now this is where what we will do is we will start making the visualizations or we will start analyzing the data. So how do we start over here is See, you see on the right side visuals over here. So over here, what we do is you first select the visual. Like suppose if you want to make a bar chart, you click on that stacked column chart and you will see the chart will come up. And you will be able to see this chart over here. So all of you, please click on that. Right? See, when you select any chart from here, what you will notice is there are some options that will get activated at the bottom. Right now, these options are of this chart. Like this is a bar chart. It's clear you want to make a bar chart, but with which all fields do you want to make it? Right? See, if you click outside this chart, those options are gone over here. If you will take a look, if you click it again, those options are back. Now the options are like axis. Like what do you want to keep on axis? Suppose I want to make a normal chart where I would like to place subcategory. I would like to keep all the subcategory on the axis. Right? Then values, right? What do you want to keep in the values? Suppose I want to keep sales in the values. So you pick up the sales and put it over here. And there you go. The chart is ready.
Hi, Amit. How do you define that subcategory will go on the x-axis and y-axis?
See, in the bar chart over here, they will just give you axis only, right? So like when I brought this chart over here, if you take a look at it, when you select the chart, it shows you the look, right? Like this is a type of a chart that you will be creating. So it's a vertical bar chart where you have vertical bars. So definitely, if I have to show subcategory analysis, that will come on the axis. That we will have x-axis, and over here you will see the sales value. So you just have axis over here. So you
Okay.
pick up that field on the subcategory and put it on the axis over here. So by default, it will be on the x-axis, and you put the sales over here. So you get that value. So values on the y-axis that you are getting, that is a value. What value do you want to show?
Okay.
Then when you will hover on this chart, you get this box. This is called as a tooltip, right? You get the tooltip that this is subcategory copiers, and the value is the sales values below that. Now on this chart that you have made, there is an option that is focus mode. So you can bring the chart in the focus mode if you want to see it. And you click on back to report, the report will be, you will be able to see that small chart. Then you have three dots over here. If you click on the three dots, you want to export data. So when you say export data, data will be exported only of this chart. Okay, so if you click on export data now over here, the data that you are using in this chart, that will be exported and it will be saved, in a CSV file format, like all the subcategories and the data value, how much values you have. So that data will be saved in this, like this. If I show you example of that. So this data that you have, this will be saved in a CSV file. If in case you want to save the data in the CSV file format, you want to remove the chart, you have an option of remove. You have an option of show as table. So in the show as table, what happens is you will be able to see the chart also, and below that it will show you the output in the form of a table also. So you have chart plus the table. If you click on back to report, you will see this chart back, right? You can see the table now. Okay. Now over here, when you see again, you click on the three dots, you have an option of spotlight, right? Spotlight is something right now you won't be able to see it when you have multiple charts. What that spotlight does is it grays out the other charts and just keep one activated. You want to change the sorting of the charts, you can do that, right? If you want to sort by subcategory, you select subcategory. So this, the charts are, the bars are coming in the sorted order of subcategory names. You want to sort in ascending or descending, so you can select that also. So you have those sorting options coming at the top of the chart. Okay. ascending order of sales, descending order of the sales. So that is how you can do the sorting. Now on this chart, you will find the option of legend. See, legend means color, when you want to display something on the basis of color. So now every subcategory belongs to a category. So what you can do is, if you pick up the category from here and put it on the legend, you will now see color effect will come up. So you see, you have the three colors: furniture, office supplies, and technology. So you are able to see those legends at the top of it, and you know which color belongs to which category over here. Okay, so that is where you use legend. And then you have tooltips, right? Tooltip is if you want to show additional information in the bar, you can do that. Okay, so if you pick up the profit and put in the tooltip, so profit will be now visible in the tooltip over here. So just like additional information on the box that is when you hover your mouse on it. Okay, are you all sorted up till here? So now what will happen is, if you will come in the formatting, you will find a lot of formatting options as well. So like for example,
I have one more option showing. It's called small multiples.
small multiples. See, actually, I just have to update this. There's a recent, the last month version that has been updated. So it just breaks the chart into multiple sections. That's small multiples that I have. So I'll show you that. I'll be updating it today. So then I'll show you that. So now on this chart, if you will come in the formatting, so there are a lot of options for formatting. So formatting, as in, you want to change the color of the chart, you want to apply the data labels, on all those things, you will find a lot of options over here for that. So like, for example, if you come on this, you want to format the x-axis. So if you click on x-axis, you can change the color of that x-axis, right? You can change the color from here, right? You want to increase the text size, you will be able to do that. You want to define a font size over here, you can do that. Cambria and all, you can pick up the font size over here. So these options will be available over here to you in order to do the formatting. Okay, same way you will find some options for y-axis also. Okay, you will find that option for y-axis. So please, all of you, just now to spend 2 minutes on this, right? Because these options are very straightforward, which you will be able to use right away. Like, you want to color it up or something like legends, right? Legends are something that these labels that you see. You don't want to see the legends, turn it off. You want to see the legend, turn them on. You want to keep the legends at the bottom center, you can do that. So you can keep on moving your legends wherever you want, and you can just do the customizations with that. Okay, so please try that. right? Are you giving a shot? See, some of the options that you will find interesting over here is something new that you will find is like, you have an option of title. If you come on the title, so you all will notice that, when you make any Power BI chart, so by default, there is a title that Power BI writes for you. See, sales and profit by subcategory and category. You can see that over here at the top, right? Sales and profit by subcategory and category. Now, this is a auto-generated, the automatic, the text that has been written. Now, if you want to write your own title, you just expand it, right? You expand the title. Over here, you will be able to write your own title as well, right? Suppose you want to write, sales analysis, by subcategory. Okay, so you can write your own title at the top, and then what if you want is, if you come over here and you want to do some formatting on that, you want to change the font color of the title, so you will find that option over here. And you want to apply the background color, you can do that, right? You want to make the alignment center line, increase the font size, right? So this is how you get all these options over here. You want to apply a border to the chart, turn it on. You want to give a shadow effect, turn it on, right? So you will be able to see this right away over here on this chart over here. These things will come up, right? So these are some quick options, right, that you can all explore over here, right? So you can just, and I will also keep on, playing with them. Then if you do not want, if there will be any new options, I will keep on telling you that this is a special option that you see in this chart over here.
What is plot area?
Sorry?
Plot area.
The area, the chart where the chart is being plotted. So that's the plot area. So if you come over here, right? So the back of this chart. So that's basically plot area. So if you want to add some image over there, suppose, I add image. So this chart will come in that plotting area, this image that you want to add in the back of the chart. If you want to add some colors and also, you have that background color also, which will come in the entire chart. So plot area means this is where the chart is coming. Then there is a background in which you can give some color also if you want. Suppose you want to give some this color, so this entire color will be filled.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Now what we'll do is, if you come over here, right, you want to convert this chart into some different chart. So what you can do is, you just have to click on the chart over here, right? Like for example, you want to convert this into a bar chart. So just click on this and you will notice the bars have changed now. The chart has got changed. Let me remove that image. So just, okay, you see now, just the axes have got changed now. Now these subcategories and everything, this is now coming on the y axis over here. So I'll just inverse this. All of you, please try this out. And just one
Hi,
single click and the chart changes.
Amit.
Uh-huh.
In the format, what is that lock aspect?
See, log aspect is, what happens is that if you now reduce the chart, you can reduce it anyway, right? You see, I'm reducing this way, like this. So when you say log aspect ratio is the chart size will decrease in a proportion, right? If you just turn that on, now what is going to happen is, see, if I reduce the chart, it's reducing in the proportional size now. Getting it?
Okay, so that it will accommodate some other reports also, like exactly like in the Tableau dashboard.
Tableau, sorry, I didn't get it.
In the Tableau dashboard also, we are, accommodating a few of the reports in a particular format.
See, it is more like, where just this, it's more like reducing the size in this proportion. That's it. So that is aspect ratio. So like if you see the things are getting reduced in a proportional way. What happens otherwise is if you do it, reduce the size like this without locking this. So in that, a person can from here, control it any way he wants. But with that, it won't happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Now over here on the top of this chart, what we will be doing is I will be just using another visual, suppose like a card. So if I put a card over here, now card is a visual that we use to showcase a single value, right? You want to show total sales over here. So you pick up the sales and you will be able to drag one field over. So now you can see the sum of sales over here. Okay, so card is like one single number that you want to show on your chart. So please try to make it. Now this was the total sales. See, by default, what is happening is whenever I'm dragging a numerical field, Power BI is giving me the sum. That is giving me sum of sales. If you feel that you don't want to see the sum, you want to see the average or minimum or a maximum, right? Or a count. So you can change that by simply clicking on this little arrow. And you can change the calculation to average, minimum, maximum count like this. Okay. So if you change it to average, the number will show the average sales. Right, so you will see the number has changed on that chart, just on that chart, right? Not on the other chart. Similarly, can you please put up a card to show the total profit also? Add a card and put a total profit over there. Done. So what I do is, this was sum. Let me change it to sum. And I'll just come over here. I'll put one more card. And with that, I will drag profit. And now I can see the profit over here. Okay. Now again, in the formatting option, you will find all that formatting options over here. If you want to change the coloring and all, you will be able to find this. Now what I do is, let's make another chart over here, that is a pie chart. In the pie chart, I would like to showcase how the sales were happening across the different segments, right? Across the different segments. So when you select the pie chart, you will see legend, details, and values will come up. Legend means how do you want to break that chart, right? So we have segment. I put it over here. Then you have sales. I put it over here. And you can see that. Okay, you can see the sales by segment now over here. If you want to apply the same formatting which you have on this chart over here on this chart, what you can do is click on this chart. At the top, you will find Format Painter. If you click on that, you will get a brush. Just click on this brush over here. So you see the chart comes in that same formatting, similar back title, similar background. You get that same look and feel over here. Okay. Everyone sorted over here? So now what I do is let me reduce the size. Another thing is if you feel that the page size is small, right? So make sure nothing is selected. When no chart is selected, you will come over here on the page size. And in the page size, you will find an option to make it custom and increase the page size. So you can make it 1500. If you want to increase the width, you can make it 1400. You want to increase the height, you can make it 800. So you will be able to see that width over here. You will be able to change that width. Okay. Now the next chart that we're going to add over here is that will be a line chart. See that why do we need a line chart? Line chart is something that we use when you have to do some time series analysis, right? So I'll pick up a line chart from here. So this is where you will find the line chart. Now on this line chart, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to put on the axis. See, you all will be now able to relate to it, right? Axis. What do you want to keep? What do you want to keep on the axis? I want to keep date. So you put the date over here. Now you will find something very interesting, right? Now when in Power BI the data was loaded, so Power BI, on the date field, it has automatically created a hierarchy, right? That you have year, after year you have quarter, in every quarter you have month, and in a month you have day. So that is why you see a hierarchy being generated over here by the Power BI. Now this is a hierarchy that is automatically created, right? We haven't created it. So this was because date has a hierarchy, it is able to understand it and it has generated that for me. In the values, what do I want to show? I want to show the sales. So I pick sales and put it in the values. So all of you, please do it. So now, when you have a hierarchy on the chart, okay, when you have a hierarchy in the chart, so what happens over there is you will find that what you will find is that you can drill up, drill down the hierarchy over here, right? So what do I mean by that drill up, drill down is, see at the top, you will get some buttons because there was a hierarchy. That is why you are getting these buttons. Otherwise it was not there on any other chart. Correct? So what will happen is, now please make a note of this. You will find these 3-4 options at the top. Now over here, if you click, I'll start from this option, right? Go to next level. So, or maybe we'll start from here. So if you just start from the last option, it says expand all down one level in the hierarchy. If you click on this, the chart will go from year to quarter level, right? So now the chart is showing you quarters over here. Quarter 1 of 2014, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Then again quarter 1 of 15, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. So that is how it is showing you the quarters. You want to go to the month level, click it again. It will take you to the month level, right? You click it again, it takes you to the day level. So the analysis is deep diving from year to quarter, quarter to month, month to day. You want to drill up, you have this option. Click on this, you will level up, right? So you are coming up in the level, correct? Now, if you take a look at the second option over here, now what this does is it takes go to the next level. After year, you have the next level as quarter. Okay. Okay, so after here you have the quarter. So if you will see now, if you click on that, this button, now it takes you to the chart at quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. So now it is not considering year. It is just showing the data that, okay, quarter 1 of all the years, quarter 2 of all the years, quarter 3 of all the years. So that is how the data is coming up. So does something strike to you from the Tableau over here? Is everyone? If you all remember from the Tableau also, you had the similar option over there also. Like when you used to right click on that order date, so you had like year, quarter, month, one box, and below that year, quarter, month, another box. So if you selected from the first box, it used to give you only without year. And when you selected it from the second box, it used to give with year, right? So, I mean, it's like just a replica of that too. And there will be just 5-10% of the things that will be plus and minus here and there. Some good things in this tool extra, some good things, other things in that Tableau over there. And if you go above again, so the same button will be used to go above the hierarchy. Then you have one very interesting option, that is click to turn on drill down. If you click on this button, now what will happen is, see, if you click on 2014, it will take you inside the quarters of 2014, quarter 1 of 2014, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, right? So you can see now, this is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. And when you click on any quarter, it takes you to the months of that, right? Months of that quarter. Like in quarter 2, you have April, May, June, so it takes you to that months. Right, everyone? You want to again level up, so the same button will bring you up over here. Now, if you want, right, I hope these options are clear to all of you. Everyone is sorted on this.
Amit, the data which I have for Sample Superstore, the years go up till 2020. So they're 2018 and then 2020 also.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you expand it, do you have data only till 2017?
2017, yeah. Actually, that file we might have added some data for registration over there, I guess, in that. So,
Well, I was not seeing any scroll option in your chart, so I was wondering why it's not giving a scroll at the bottom.
you're not getting?
A scroll option in the bottom for your chart, because I thought there are more years. So in your line chart.
You're getting a scroller.
No, I'm not getting a scroller. I thought you should be getting a scroller because we have 2018 and 2019 and 2020.
No. Like in my, I just have up till 17 only.
Okay.
Radhika, if you took the old file, then I think we have more data. So again, I downloaded what Amit shared today. Then the data is fine.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe what you can do is, so other thing that you can do is just go in that Excel. Okay, just go in that Excel. In the last one, you will be having a couple of rows of 2020. So just delete those rows and save the file and just refresh over here. So everything will be sorted. Okay, or maybe other file. So there are multiple ways. Either you delete the data over there, refresh it, or you can change the data source and click over here on the data source settings and change the file. The new file that you download, just change its path. That the file that I'm going to now use is that whatever file you pick, just select that file. Okay.
In this Power BI, can we select the year 2020 and delete all the values or those values?
When you want to apply the filter on that,
Yeah.
also you can do it. See on the chart, if you will see now, if you select the chart, over here you will see filters coming in the years. Until in the click on that year and make it basic filtering, and there you can say that you don't want to I mean you just select all and just uncheck 2020.
Check that. Okay.
So that way you will be able to do it. Okay. See now what happens over here is the next thing that we do is over here. So you see this filtering has been happening over here. Now this was because of the hierarchy that was automatically generated by the Power BI, right? That is year, quarter, month, and day. But what if you want to generate your own hierarchy, right? Because your the data can have multiple hierarchies. So do you think there is some another hierarchy we have over here?
Category, subcategory.
Right? Category, subcategory, product name. So what you can do is you can create your own hierarchies also. And how do you make it? Just right click on the category and you will say create hierarchy. You will find the option of new hierarchy. Just click on that. A new hierarchy will be created. Okay, and you will see that option coming up, category hierarchy. Now in this hierarchy right now I just have category. If you want to bring subcategory and product name in this, right click on the subcategory, right click on the subcategory and say add to category hierarchy. Okay. And then finally, like this same way, click on the product name and click on right click on that and say add to hierarchy. That is the category hierarchy. So there will be another hierarchy that will be created. So now this is a user defined hierarchy, the hierarchy that you have created.
What is this cross report? Drill through cross report.
I'll be coming to that. So this is like when you have to apply the filters from one report to another.
Okay.
So now what you do is let's add another chart in this, right? So what I'll do now is let me add a chart of again, say suppose let's add this bar chart only, right? So I'll add a normal bar chart. In this bar chart, now on the axis, put up the hierarchy, bring the hierarchy in this. On the axis, bring the hierarchy. Category hierarchy that we have just made, put it over here and then bring the values of sales in the values over here. And now you will observe on the bar chart also you're getting a hierarchy. So the topmost level is category. You drill it down from category to subcategory, subcategory to product name. So you can apply the same hierarchy drill down features over here on this chart also. Everything will work like this. So if you turn this on, you click on technology, it will show you the subcategory of technology. You click on phones, it will show you the products of the phones. Yep. Are you able to play with it, everyone? Right, the same features come up over here, right? The same drill up, drill down hierarchy. Let's apply that format painter also over here. So click on this chart, click on format painter and make it like this. इसको भी बांध दो ना इसको. Sorry guys. Yeah. Okay, so I was showing you this formatting of this chart, right? So just bring all the charts into the same format. Okay. So if you see now, we are trying to make a report over here where we are able to show the trend analysis also, and you can see the sales by subcategories also. I'm just spending a little time on the formatting. Okay. Now on this report, right, if you want to put some titles, so you have insert text box. If you click on insert text box, so you can write your own text that you want to write. Suppose you want to write something like this, Superstore report, and let me increase the font size. Let's make it bold. What is the report that we have made? Okay. You want to put up some logo, you can click on image and you can put that image over here, a small logo of the company, right? Suppose there's a small logo that you have, so you can place that at the one of the corners. So there you see your report is ready within couple of minutes, right? With drag and drop over here of the things, you can see the chart is created over here. So this is how quickly I was able to make this complete report over here. So now these are some quick features that we have seen, right? So like as an introductory session, how you make the charts. So how do you guys feel? Is it easier to Tableau or difficult than that? Okay, so Marina says easy. Okay. Right. So now you know over here on this report. So what we can do is let me just increase the page size a lot more, right? Let's increase the page size so that we can get more space. So I'll increase the height. We keep the height as 1000. Okay, so I've got more space now over here. So what I can do is I can just move these charts a little down. So I'll select all the charts. By pressing Control key, you can select the charts one by one. You can move all the charts down. Now over here, you know what you can do is you can add some slicers, right? So I'll just wait so they can all increase it, right? So I'll add a slicer. Now slicer is like when you want to add a feature of filtration, right? Suppose I add in the filter, I add something like region. So if I add region over here, I'll get a filter of region. So if I select central, it will show me entire data of central. If I select east, it will show me entire data of east. And if I'll show you south, it will show me entire data of south. So this is how this filter can help us in filtering the data out. So giving a lot more control to the user what data he would like to see.
I have a question.
Yep.
For the chart sales by segment, I try to change the background. So when I change the background, the label is it's like it's gone. I think it is not transparent, or the background changes the
What
setting.
I mean, you are trying to apply the background color.
Yeah.
What is going?
So, can I share my screen?
Sure.
Okay. Can you able to view my screen, Amit?
Yeah, you can see. Click on the chart.
So I'm just trying to format this. So when I do, the label is gone.
Actually, you know what is happening is because from which chart did you do that? I think you picked it up from this bar chart, right? So data labels would be off in that. So the same, it turns it over here. So click on the chart, go in the formatting, go in the format. No, on the pie chart only.
Okay.
Click on the pie chart and then in the formatting. So you will see there are detail labels.
Okay.
Yes. Turn it on there.
Okay. Thanks.
Now, if you want to, add the slices over here. So right, this slicer that you add, if you will see there is a small little arrow that you will see. If you click on that arrow, you can change its look and feel. You want to convert it into a drop down, you can do that. So it will come in the form of a drop down now, like this. Right? Previously it was coming as a list. Now it will come as a drop down. Okay. By default, if you will see this filter is working as a single select. If you want to make multiple selections, what you will have to do is you will have to press Control key. If you will press Control key, then you will be able to do the multiple selections also. Right? Just press Control key and make the selection. Okay. Now, if you come in the formatting pane, right, or the slicer, if you will come in the formatting pane, there are some options that I would like to show you. And what that option is, basically, if you come over here, in the selection controls, there is an option of single select, which is off. If you turn that on, that means you can only select one value at a time. If you turn that on, that will make it strictly single select, right? If you turn it off, so that means it's a multi select. And that also over there, you will see it is saying multi select with control. So if you turn that off, then now you will be able to do the multiple selection without pressing the control key. Okay. Now over here, if you all would have noticed something, right? The charts are interactive. Okay, what do I mean by interactive is the charts are talking to each other. So like if you click on technology, you will notice all the charts are changing, right? All the charts change. There is something that is changing on every chart, if you will notice. So basically, when you click on any chart, every other chart is getting filtered, right? Every other chart is getting filtered. So remember this functionality in Tableau also, what did we call it as? Can anyone of you recall that?
Action filters.
Action filters, right? Action filter was a property by which when we used to set it up, so that chart used to act like a filter and it used to filter the other charts. Now over there, we had to set that thing up. Over here, this thing comes presetted that every chart will work like a filter. So what happens is if you click, like for example, if I click on 2015, okay, so every chart will start showing the data of 2015 only, right? Everywhere the chart changes to 2015, but we can change that thing, right? We can change the interaction. So if you want that, if you click on this chart, only this chart should change or this chart should change. So we can make those changes over here. And how do we make it? Let me show you. See, select the chart, select the bar chart first, and the any chart. I mean, you can select any chart, but just for that to be on the same page, select the sales by category. If you will come on the insert tab, you will find you will come the form. If you will come the format tab, you will find the option of edit interactions. So when you click on edit interactions, there are some options that you will see that will be coming up on the charts. See, now please don't do it, just watch it for a 1 minute so that you can all understand it. So when I'm on this chart, when I'm over here on this chart, so what will happen is that it is telling me that this chart is getting filtered, right? This chart is getting filtered. This is the option that is highlighted. If you make it none, that would mean that if you will click on this chart, nothing is going to happen on this chart. Same way, you will have to do that setting one by one for every chart. Like if you want this chart is getting highlighted. If highlight means, right, that all the data will be there, the selection will get highlighted. You want to filter this, you can select filter. You want nothing to happen, you select nothing. Same way, you want that nothing should happen. This is a quick summary. You want nothing to happen on this, you make it none. You want nothing to happen on this, you make it none. So whatever selection you will choose, that action will be applied as a selection on that particular chart. Then same way, if you want that, if you click on this line chart, you want nothing to happen on this. Now the options will come up in accordance to this chart now, right? In accordance to that sales by year chart, it will show the options on the other chart that how they are interacting with this. So with this, what you can do is you guys can select that which chart should filter, which should highlight, where nothing should happen. The three options, you just have three options. Okay. So this is how, and when interactions are done, you just click on that so that options hide. So now this work that we have done, you can save it by clicking on file and save. So you can save it, in your folder over here, and the file is saved by the format of, the PBIX file format. The file will be saved with the extension of PBIX, that is PBIX with Power BI. Okay. I'll save it with today's name, 16 June. So this is where I think we'll take a pause for today, right? So tomorrow we will see on how we can do the grouping of the data, create bins on the data. We will talk about, how we can do some data modifications or the transformations and how we do the data modeling. So that is how we will take it up. Right. So in the meantime, I will request all of you, right? So today, or like whenever you all get a time, like right now it would be late for you guys, but whenever you get the time for the practice, just try the charts, right? So you have seen 3-4 charts over here. Just try the charts by simply dragging and dropping. You will be, I'm very much sure you all will be able to relate to them, that how they're getting created. The charts are created in the format that they are not technical. They are more like user-friendly stuff that you should be able to understand it like an application that we use, right? If you want to make like a funnel chart, you click on that funnel chart. It will show you like, okay, the chart will something like look like this. Group, add something over here, like just drag the region over here. Values, we know where you have to show the numbers, and put the values over here and see what comes up, right? Because you know what the data is, what you are taking a look at, and the chart will be ready, and try to understand it, what it is trying to showcase. Correct. So just play with these charts for a day over here. This is just my request and advice, so that you get a little fair understanding what the different charts are used for, right? Like you have a donut chart, you convert this pie chart into a donut chart, the same thing with a little different view. That's it. So that makes it a donut chart, right, class?
Amit,
So
how can we convert row ID into a measure?
I mean numeric field.
Yeah, row ID is coming as a numeric field right now. How can we convert it into non-numeric?
So in that case, you select that row ID over here. So you will see some options will come activity, data type. So it is whole number. If you want to make it text, so click on that. So it becomes text now.
And if we want to duplicate it, we want, if you want to duplicate it, one as whole number, one as text, if you want to duplicate the row ID, like how we were doing in Tableau, we were dragging and dropping it up above, and it used to another copy.
So the dimensional concept is not over here. It's the concept of data types. So you have to just convert the data type. You are saying you want to make a copy of this column, right?
Yeah.
So see, if you have to make a copy of this, so what will happen over here is we have to do that from the query editor, which I will be telling you. So that is a transform data option. From there, you can duplicate a column if you want. You won't be able to do it from here.
Okay.
Okay, over here, if you want to do it, you will have to do a calculated field. So if you make a new column over here, basis the calculation. So you will say that, this value should be equal to that, give it a name. Suppose this is row ID duplicate, right? Row ID duplicate, which will be equal to what you already have in the row ID. So if you will do it that way.
Spaces.
So you'll get a duplicate over here, right? You get that.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll be talking on this columns and all. We will be talking in a lot of detail, because measures over here in Power BI, it has a different meaning. Okay. So it has a different meaning over here. Although purpose is the same, like measures means calculation. So we actually make the measures over here. We create the measures. You see, you will see the option over here also, new measure. If you will on the home tab, you will see new measures. So we make this calculations.
Even in the title, I was seeing there were options of values and how the title will change. Title name can also change with the calculated.
Yes. So we have, it will be like dynamic title. So you select East region, the title will become East.
Mm.
So we can make the dynamic title also. Yeah. So no worries for first session, right? So otherwise, I mean, as we will go ahead, the things will start making sense. But definitely, you are asking good questions. So that means you are able to relate the two things very easily over here. Okay. Okay, class. So let's connect tomorrow and explore it further. Thank you, everyone.